Hello, so for today's video, I will be making two different types of cookies. I will be making chocolate chunk cookies and shortbread, and I'm extremely excited because they turned out so good, so let's just hop right into it. The first cookie we are going to be making today is the chocolate chunk cookie, and we have our ingredients laid out right here. We have 480 grams of softened unsalted butter, 240 grams of granulated sugar, and that is in a bowl with 360 grams of dark brown sugar. And then we have 3 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of salt, and then we have 600 grams of flour, and then we have 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then we have 240 grams of walnut pieces chopped, and then we have 960 grams of chocolate chunks. Now, the flour is supposed to be pastry flour that works best, but I couldn't find any pastry flour at my local grocery store. Literally, it was just bread flour and all-purpose flour, so I just picked the best all-purpose flour I could find. And let's just get right into the making of our cookies. So in my mixer with a paddle attachment, I creamed my butter to soften a little bit more, and then I added my sugars and I just beat until light. It was around 3 to 5 minutes at medium speed, and then I added the eggs to my cream mixture one at a time, and then I added my vanilla, and then I stirred in my salt, flour, and baking soda together, and then I added that to my cream mixture, and then I stirred in my nuts and chocolate chunks. And then I just portioned my dough out evenly on my cookie sheets lined with parchment paper, giving them enough room in between to spread out evenly. And then I cooked them until they were golden brown, approximately around 10 to 12 minutes, and the size of your cookie will vary. If they are smaller, they will probably take less, and if they are larger, they'll probably take around 15 minutes. And then I just took them out, and then I cooled them on a cooling rack, and then you want to let them cool completely. And now moving on to the ingredients for our traditional shortbread, which is the second cookie we are making in this video. We have 480 grams of softened unsalted butter, 240 grams of powdered sugar, zero point 0.5 fluid ounces of vanilla extract, or 15 milliliters, and then we have 1 teaspoon of salt and 570 grams of all-purpose flour, and then we have 1 egg for our egg wash, and you will just need that as needed. I blended my butter and powdered sugar in a bowl without creaming, and I ended up switching to a spatula because it worked much better than a whisk. And then I stirred in the vanilla and salt, and then I mixed that thoroughly, and then I added my flour and mixed that until just combined. So then I portioned out my dough into 4 equal portions, and then I rolled each piece of dough into an 8-inch disc, and then I wrapped them in plastic, and then I freezed them until hard around 30 minutes. After 30 minutes were up and the rolls were hard, I took them out of the freezer and then unwrapped them, and then I lightly brushed each of the rolls with egg wash, and then I cut them all in half and then half again until they all made even-sized cookies. And then I docked them with a fork, and then I placed them on parchment paper lined sheet pans, and then I just baked them at 375 degrees Fahrenheit until they were a pale golden brown. And this took around exactly 15 to 20 minutes. And here are the finished products on a plate. These turned out so good. The shortbread was so buttery and it was just perfect, and the chocolate chunk cookies were a great size and they were chewy, and they made some amazing ice cream sandwiches after as well. And this was just an amazing recipe and one I will definitely be using from now on. I will not be using my chocolate chip recipe that I used to use because this one was just much better. It made a fuller cookie. It wasn't too thin, and it held a very nice shape, and the same with the shortbread. I've had some really crumbly recipes that just did not behave well, but these turned out really well, and you can see they're just beautifully browned, and I cannot wait to try these again sometime soon.